Good afternoon, March 23rd, 2017. Time to recap today's trading and take a look at tomorrow's. We'll start with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations. Unlike an actual performance record, simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as a lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. Okay, on the E-mini today, we had our first sell zone at 50 and our second sell zone at 54.56. And we said today's trading would be tied to the whether Ryan Care would pass or not. Right now it doesn't look like it's going to. So this is our number one buy area that we came in this morning. Retest failure. We touched the top of it right here. You could have been long in this area and it produced a winning trade. It took forever to develop. This was the end of the meeting right here. And on our noon central update we said we should be hearing something soon. And they came out of the meeting with President Trump and there was no deal. So our second sell zone, which was right here, produced a winning trade. Now there's a vote supposedly scheduled in about 3 hours. Those can be canceled at the last minute. Numerous retest failures right here. And we're starting to move down. So we had 56.50 to say 45, so that's 11 points. 11 points from 52 would take us down to the 41 level right here on a measured move. So again, the big picture analysis is spot on. It's rarely off. What we don't know if we're going to get during the day is enough volatility to enter the market off of those setups, and usually we don't. A way to handle that is to move to the 10-minute chart. And on the 10-minute chart, should pop up here momentarily. On the 10-minute chart, in our buy zone right here, this is that first rotation down when the market opened. You could have been long at 41, buying at 41, 41.50. On this 10-minute chart right here, you could have been long at 43. Up here on the 10-minute chart, you could have been short at 55. On this 10-minute chart for a scratch, you could have been short at 50. On this 10-minute chart right here, you could have been short at 51. So there are 3 trades in a scratch off of a 10-minute chart that would have given you what you wanted today. And it's that type of trading that I think day in and day out we're going to really have to do on the E-mini until the market is allowed to sell once again. So just keep that in mind. We're much more active in gold and crude right now. Usually gold gives us the better trade because it does have more volatility than crude. The volatility in crude has been lacking. Okay, D period, higher low, higher high. Off the F1 screen we can buy it. On the F2 screen we're going to see more of a B pattern. And we're leaning that way. It's not altogether that bad, but right here at the I period, that's the walking out of the meeting at the White House. So right now, trading range, I like the short side of the market as long as we stay below 23.50. On the trading range, we're back to our 40 to 50 buy, 35.37 buy 2, 49.51 sell 1, 54.56 sell 2. That's just exactly where we were today. Tomorrow we have durable orders plus 1.5, X transportation plus I think 0.8. Yeah, 0.8. Core capital goods plus a half. This one gets a big swing because of the transportation component, so they tend to look at the bottom too. We've got PMI composite at 54.3, and Baker Hughes rig count at 1065. The U.S. rig count could increase. The U.S. rig count was 768. And so we could look for that number to be bigger. So the focus will be right here, durable orders, ex-transportation, and core manufacturing. Maybe PMI composite, don't know. And we'll await. If they don't have a vote this afternoon, they're talking about taking it into the night. Oh, the drama, how tough these guys work, right? But as it stands right now, Trump has said that, hey, this is just the first one to get it repealed and get rolling. We're going to work on the rules and regulations. I don't want anybody to be thrown out of insurance, be uncovered because of this. But trust me, in the second and third version, that you'll get what you want. And it's Trump's ability to sell that to the people in Congress. And big changes are tough. I mean, every entrenched interest in Washington, D.C., all the mainstream media, probably a good 40% of the Republicans are against changing the status quo, and that's what Trump's up against. It's hard to do, and he can get bogged down, cut off below the knees by the Republican leader of the House, Senate Majority Leader, and right now they don't look too solid. Treasuries, lower high, lower low. Find a place to sell it. On the F2 screen, it's pretty much a D pattern. Stock market sells, we rally. Stock market rallies, we sell. That's where we find ourselves. We do have news tomorrow that can influence the trading, so here we are. 15 to 19, sell 1, just where we were this morning. 23, 27, sell 2. On the buy side, we were 5 to 9 this morning. That's exactly where we are now. Now again, I want you to just think about the accuracy of this macro information that we start out with in the morning. And if buy 1 and sell 1 held today, that's indicative of a trading range. We have just really very, very superior information early in the morning. It's how do we choose to trade it. Now, on a day trading basis, you can lose sight of the big picture, but you need to take yourself back throughout the day and figure out, how I can get closer to the edges when we have very, very little volatility to work with. And the note is one of those contracts where we don't have on a regular day a lot of volatility. We have to work toward the edges. So the way that we handle that on the note is leaning against pivot highs and pivot lows with resting limit buy and sell orders. There are a lot of ways to skin this cat, and that's an easier way to trade because you're going for the entire day's trading range. It's not a one-to-one relationship. It's pretty easy to get 3-to-1 when you do that. Hey, last rotate up was like 21. We might trade higher, so 24, 28's number 1, 31 to 03. Sell 1. This morning we had 27 to 31 as a sell, and then 3 to 7, and the high was 2. So we got pretty close. And we'll do the same right here. Tomorrow is option expiration in Treasury, so the mathematical close for the bond this morning coming in was 150.16, and you can see how a lot of the trades centered around those levels. 12 to 16, number 1. 5 to 9, buy 1. 29 to 01, buy 2. We're going to play for option expiration tomorrow, and so the numbers are a little bit tight. Now, when you get good enough to do your homework and your analysis and you start coming getting numbers very, very close to mine. And we have so many people that are no longer in the room because I'm too basic for them and they're getting the same numbers that I'm getting. Then you can start working on how do I get closer to the edges to put my trades on based on your numbers. We're all unique. We all see things a little differently. We're all, and it'll boil down to the fact that I want to be long or short because of this piece of news or this technical indicator or whatever it happens to be in your case. You'll learn how to trade your own ideas, and that's better. In the room right now, Rich Genders modified my approach. His is more restrictive, and Frank has modified Rich Genders, and his approach is a little more restrictive than Rich Genders, with his 1 minute range that he will not take a trade in, no matter what the setup is. Okay, we have a higher low and a higher high in D. So on the F1 screen on crude, we can trade from the long side. And again, we had a 98 and a 58. We had, I think, 50. So basically a 40 tick day. And that's 7 o'clock Eastern on it. There's really, really good trading. And if you're up, you need to come in and start taking a look at it. And certainly the 8 to 8:30 window Eastern, because you're trading with the pros, you're trading technically. You have an edge. And the guys that can screw things up with throwing a lot of volume around can't trade yet. So don't forget that. 75 to the buck, sell one. 25 to 50, as long as we stay below 48.50, this market can sell. I sound like a broken record. I think we're going to try to trade it lower, so we'll go 47 and a quarter, 47.50 by one. Come back and test this area right there, and then 46.75, 47 by two. Heading into the weekend, to shore up the market, we might have an OPEC article, some comments from Russia out overnight. We'll have to watch for that. And see if that actually comes to fruition. Okay, looking at gold. Got so excited about crude oil, I jumped the gold market. Higher low, higher high. Actually, it's an outside day, so that's trading range. And looking at the F2 screen. A B. So our 40 to 42 is holding up pretty well. In fact, we haven't gotten down to 42, so 41, 43 by 1, 35, 37 by 2, 50, 52, sell 1, 54, 56, sell 2. Probably trading inversely with the E-mini. And currencies were off a little bit today. Euro, lower high, lower low, find a place to sell it. Boy, that's about as round a distribution as you can get. And it is. Maybe down in here we have a little more volume up there, so volume might be just leaning a little bit to the short side, but not a lot going on. We had a 40 to 50 sell today. Last row, so 35 to 45, sell one. And we'll make 65, 75, sell two. Try to catch this little low volume area right up there. On the buy side, putting this all together definitely is a B shape. So we'll try for a little bit lower, 8 to 10 by 1 and 75 by 2. Pretty quiet day session, didn't have a lot to work with. Hey, that's it for March the 23rd, 2017. We'll see you bright and early in the morning. Y'all have a great evening. I usually don't offer 3 points for the E-mini for a buy or a sell. Did I not put it up there? I had on the E-mini selling 49s to 51s, then 54s to 56s. Then I had a 40 to 42 buy and a 35 to 37 buy. And then so the third support point would be 30 to 32, Nancy, if that's what you're asking for. And if I didn't give it to you, PM me. And I'll see if I can get that information to you. Later.